Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Ultimate Music Lover Album Reviews. This album review is going to be pretty short. It's just going to be nice and quick. I'm not going to go into a full deep dive and on the album, but this is episode 2. So, today I'm going to be reviewing Smashing Pumpkins' Siamese Dream. I own this on cassette tape only. I do not have a CD copy or a vinyl record copy. I do plan on getting the vinyl copy soon, so if I get the vinyl copy, then I will do an unboxing in the next video. But I'm just going to go track by track and just briefly give my thoughts. And I figured out what I'm going to do now for album reviews. I'm just going to go song by song and give my own personal opinion unless I know what the song is about. Then I'll go deep and I'll be like, this is the whole purpose of the song. But if I don't know what the song is about, then I'll just give my opinion on it. Now, as far as the rating goes, I will rate the first track, whatever the rating may be. But then after that, I'll just keep going track by track, and the track rating will stay at a default 5 out of 5, unless I specify it's a song I don't really like, then I'll give it whatever rating I give it. But without further ado, let's get into Siamese Dream. So, Siamese Dream is considered to be one of the most influential albums of the 90s, and it's considered to be the Smashing Pumpkins' best record, or one of the best, if not the best. I do know that Melancholy is definitely getting a lot more appreciation now than it was back in 95, so maybe Melancholy is considered their best album now. Siamese Dream definitely has a lot more appreciation than it deserves, I think. I don't know. I just never caught on to Siamese Dream. It never was a thing. Like, I could take songs from it and I still listen to it because it's a good album. But if I had to pick one album to eliminate from the Smashing Pumpkins' 5 albums, Siamese Dream would be the very first album to go. I'm sorry, it's good, but it just does not achieve the level that the other 5 do. The other 4. Now, so track by track, let's do this. Cherub Rock. Cherub Rock is a great track. It's heavy. It's kind of heavy. It's not like super heavy, but it's heavy enough to where you can feel it. So Cherub Rock is a good track. I like the guitar riff, and the bass in it's sweet too. So the composition is great. Now, when I hear this song, I feel like there's this girl that just walked into town, and then all the guys are crazy for her. And so there's like this group of guys that unite and come together, and then they're like, who wants that honey over there? That sounds like freaking great, right? It's a good track, but it's definitely a song I could scratch off the record just completely. Like, it's basically just filler. All I mainly pay attention to is the riff and stuff. Cherub Rock is like an iffy 3 or 4 out of 5, and I consider it filler. Quiet, on the other hand, Quiet's a song. Now, Quiet is a bit heavy again. Like, I'm not going to use heavy as a term because most of this record has heavy riffs. It's intended to be heavy. So unless it's a calm song like Disarm, I'm not going to use the term heavy, because this is definitely one of their records where the grunge theme is applied to it more than any other record, I believe. Like, this is their most heavily grunge themed record is Siamese Dream. So you're going to hear a lot of heaviness in a lot of the songs on this album. Quiet's a good track. The message in it is great. I feel like it's a song where they're discovering the past, and in the current times that they're silent because what they believe in, or the world that they think they're in, is not what they think they're in, or at least that the main character thinks that they're in. That's a 4 out of 5. It's okay. Today, now the ratings back up to 5 out of 5. So today is a good song. It is one of their hits. I like it. I mean, I guess like I'm the kind of person that loves the more underrated songs, and even if they're hits, then they're underrated. But today is definitely another one of those Smashing Pumpkins songs where like everybody knows that it's Smashing Pumpkins. Everybody loves the song, but it really is a good track. The whole purpose, I think, that today serves is to indicate that the main character is trying to live their life to the fullest. They're trying to spend that day to just be happy because they don't know if they're going to live another day. And so they use that one day saying that today is the greatest day that they've ever known. And that he can't wait or can't live for tomorrow, and that he just has to live for today. Hummer is a hard track to understand, so I'm just going to say that great composition, and I like how it's got a grunge and progressive rock kind of style to it, and then it dies down for the end there. And then at the ending, I like how you just hear a sound come in and then it goes away. So I don't have any personal opinions on Hummer. Like, I don't know exactly how to describe it, so I'm just going to say it's a good track. Rocket. I love Rocket. When I listen to Rocket, I feel that my capabilities as being a genius to achieve my goals have been locked up in a mental cage, and that all I want to do is to be free. And so that's what the main character is chanting in the song, is that he'll find himself, and that all he wants to do is be free, and that he shall be free. Free from the voices that try to convince him that this is how your world has to be. So he wants to free himself from that cage to discover who he truly is. And I connect that song a little bit with Rage Against the Machine's Know Your Enemy, because they kind of have the same message, except Know Your Enemy is just geared more towards like a political act than Rocket is. But Know Your Enemy has the same kind of message. In fact, Zach De La Rocha sings a line in Know Your Enemy where it's, "Yes, I know my enemies. They're the teachers that taught me to fight me." And that connects with the song Rocket when he's saying, "I shall be free, free from these voices inside me." So he's going to be free from these voices that have taught him or told him that this is how he has to live, and he's just going to do what he wants to do and be free. Disarm is a good track. Disarm is nice and calm, and then it gets pretty progressive, but not too much. And I feel like that the boy is all grown up, or that it's a boy that is more mature than most kids his age. He feels like that he grew up throughout his life being exposed to more things than most kids have, and being more mature about things than most kids. And by the time he gets 50, he feels like that he's 70 or 80 because he has obtained a lot of knowledge, which is why he claims that he used to be a little boy so old in his shoes, because when he was a little boy, he was thinking in the mindset of like a 17 or 18-year-old when he was 7, as opposed to all the all the kids that were his same age just staying on track. Like they were thinking at the level they were supposed to be at, they weren't going above and beyond. And the whole "the killer in me is the killer in you" line, I think what that's saying is that we all have a light and a dark inside of us. And so it really doesn't matter who we talk to or who we connect with in our lives, because we're all going to have a good side of us and a bad side of us. Now, Soma, I don't know how to describe the track, but I feel like that the person is lost in themselves again. They don't really know who they are. Because he claims that they're all by themselves, like they are all by themselves, or I guess he or she or whoever. So basically, they claim that they're all by themselves. They're saying that's how they've always felt. Like they've either been lonely and they can't find who they are, or they've just been lonely and they just want to connect with somebody. So that's what I feel like when I listen to the track. Geek USA. I feel like it's a one night stand kind of song where this person finds somebody to hook up with, and then he's starting to claim that she just threw all of her dreams out the window and did all this stuff out the window just so that she could satisfy him. So she gave it all away to him, and that he made her see that that was foolish, that she shouldn't have done that. Mayonnaise. Now, this is a song that people like to make fun of because of the track name. Mayonnaise, like, oh, you could have came up with another name for the song, but like, oh, no, Mayonnaise. But it's a good track. Mayonnaise is a good track. I feel like Mayonnaise is when the main character is trying to discover what love really is. Like, they don't know the difference between true love and love that you just feel. Space Boy. Space Boy is a good track. I don't know exactly what it means, but I feel like Space Boy is another term for somebody has moved away, and then after so many years they come back, and this person hooks up with somebody that from their childhood, and the person that's seen them for some time is starting to think, oh, well, any way you choose me, I guess. It won't be wrong, it won't be long. Silverfuck. Okay, this is another filler track. This song is just the composition's great, but this is definitely another song that I could scratch out of the album. It's strange. I don't know how to describe it, and I don't really want to get into detail because it's like, it's weird to think about. It's one of those tracks in the album that, like, you listen to it and then you feel weird. And then Sweet Sweet, the main character has found somebody that is super sweet that they just want to be with for the rest of their lives, and everybody wants them to change to be that way, but they're not changing their ways to benefit the person or the people. They're just changing their ways so that they can be with the person that they truly think is sweet. And then finally, the album ends with Luna. This is a good song. This is basically saying that the main character has started to build their life. They continue to push on their life because the person that they love has influenced them to keep pushing forward. And he claims that he's just doing all of this because he wants to be with the person in the end, that he has no other choice. He just wants to keep going so that in the very end he's guaranteed that the person that he wants to be with so bad ends up being their soulmate. So those are my personal opinions on Siamese Dream. Overall, it is a great record. It's very fantastic. It's not as fantastic as any of the other albums, but it's still good. Um, it's definitely good enough to where if you listen to the albums in order, like first, second, third, fourth, fifth, then you get that snuggled in there as their second studio album between Gish and Melancholy. And it's a good little break to take from what these two have to offer. So overall, it's a good record. I still continue to listen to it because it's great. It's not my favorite, but it's still great, and I'll still sit down and listen to it when I get the chance. If I had to pick songs from this record, I would pick Today, Disarm, and Luna. Those are my three favorite tracks from the album, and those are the ones that I would listen to the most off this record. So, with that being said, thank you so much for watching. Comment down below what your personal opinions are on Siamese Dream. And is Siamese Dream your favorite Smashing Pumpkins album? Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more unboxings, album reviews, and more updates. I don't know what else to post, but I'll mainly be doing unboxings and album reviews. So with that said, thank you so much for watching, and as every single record collector or seller says, anybody that's really into vinyl, I will catch you all on the flip side for the next album review.